Hi friends, just going to wait for a couple of people to jump on. We've got some really, really sad news and we need some prayer cover and some support. Okay, shall I just start talking? Okay, this morning we were contacted and informed that there was a tragic accident that happened outside Nadezhda. 4 men were riding on a horse and cart. 2 men from Nadezhda had gone to collect family members. Gypsy Day today, and everyone was preparing to celebrate. And they went to collect family members to bring them into the community, and collided with a drunk driver that was speeding. And all 4 men have died, and so did the horse. And we were trying to find out who these people were. And it took a couple of hours. We went down to the dump to seek out some information and learned that 2 of the men that passed away this morning were some of the sponsored dump children's fathers. And so it's been a really shocking and devastating day in Nadezhda. We just need to reach out and first of all and ask that you all cover these families in prayer. Oh gosh.
So we found out that 2 of the men are, like Anna said, sponsored children's fathers. There are 12 children in total that between the 2 families, and 8 of the children are sponsored. So we will be looking for sponsors for the other children just to help support financially the family, and that will alleviate some of the worries about feeding and clothing their children. So we'll be posting that probably in upcoming videos. We won't be sharing a lot of footage from the dump for at least the next few days, because they sit and mourn for 3 days. They go out on the street and they sit and mourn their loss. So we will not be filming. So we won't have any footage from the dump for the next few days, definitely. So when we do update videos, we will just maybe talk about it or just let you know how it goes in other ways rather than show you for the next few days. But then we're still here in Bulgaria for I think 8-9 days. So towards the end there will be more dump footage, and we will be able to update the other people who sponsor children at the dump. But the families, one of the wives is called Aisha, and she lost her husband and her brother, and her brother was married to Violetta, and Violetta has a young baby who's we think about 5 or 6 months old now. So and then other children as well.
Yeah, she has 5 children and Aisha has 7. So, you know, the shocking conditions that these families already live in down at the dump, that's absolutely horrific. We've been taking food down as often as possible. Now 2 of these families, and then some of the poorest families in Nadezhda, been left without a father. And it's actually very dangerous also down at the dump in Nadezhda. So their provider, their protector, you know, they've gone. It's been a really horrific day, you know, for all of us. We've been down at the dump praying with the families and just telling them that we will do everything that we can to help. And now they haven't asked for anything, but we did ask them, you know, what the plans were, what was going to happen next, and what costs were going to be. They did say to us that they hadn't eaten since we took cups of food down yesterday. So we have given them some money to get through for the next couple of days, but their funeral costs are going to be quite high. They're going to have to try and find about £1,000 per family very quickly. And these are families that can't even afford to feed themselves. They look through the dump trash for things to sell so that they can eat. So we are going to try. We've been trying to put together a GoFundMe, but it's not been working. Can't get a connection. So at the moment we have PayPal and we have Cash App or bank transfer. Please email hopeinbulgaria@gmail.com if you would like to make a contribution towards these costs. Now, both Aisha and Violetta are going to hopefully be entitled to some kind of pension, but it's going to take a couple of months for that money to come through. So we're going to try and provide daily food. Like we said, most of these children are already sponsored, and we are taking meals down to the dump 3 times a week. But while we're here and for the next couple of months, we're going to try and provide for these 2 families daily, and also try and help them with the costs of the funeral. I think the total cost of everything is going to be about £3,000, about $4,000. It's a lot of money, but every little, you know.
And you have to pay it. We did ask, is there any government schemes, or is there any way that if you don't have money that you can do this? And we were told no, there's no way. You have to pay it. And so we asked them to get in touch with Bojidar, because we don't obviously speak the same language as them yet. We're trying to learn, but we're a bit slow. And they did get in touch with Bojidar and said that they've been in touch, and the first thing that they need is they need to take suits down for their husbands to be buried in. The next thing they will have to buy after that would be the coffin, and then pay the expenses like the car and the burial plot. And that's the information really we have so far about their immediate expenses, and they now don't have their husbands and one of them now doesn't have a brother who would also probably have been supporting if he was still around. So we really would like to be able to help them have one less worry and cover some of that cost.
Right. Friends, today down in Nadezhda, it was absolutely heartbreaking. These children go through hell. They go days without food. They are so dirty. They work looking for things that they can sell so that they can eat. And when we go down to the dump, they come running up to us. They're hugging us, and they're so happy to see us and so full of joy. Even on my days, if I don't eat for a day,
if I don't eat for a few hours,
you know, their lives are absolutely shocking, but they're so joyful. But today, when we went down to the dump, it was really, really heartbreaking. It was
the atmosphere. There was such a thick presence of grief, and it was very hard.
It was heavy.
It was so heavy. I said, I went to visit with Violetta, and I came back to Anna, and I said, I feel like I've had a ton of bricks just landed on my chest. You could feel the pressure. And one of the mums, Aisha, she was quite held together for the most part when we were trying to talk to her, and then Anna prayed with her, and obviously, you know, it kind of, she fell apart a little bit. I went to visit Violetta. We had to kind of separate a bit just to get things done. Violetta wasn't well enough to stand really and come to Aisha's house. We tried to get her to come. So I went round to see her, and she was just literally a heap on the floor, and it was not how it usually is down there.
Mm-mm.
And we just really felt for these women with young children, one of them with a baby, who now have nothing and are grieving and can't pay for their husband's funerals. So we're going to try and support them. We're here for another 8 or 9 days. Yep. So we're going to try to go visit them as much as we can, as much as they want us to. But like we said, we won't be sharing any pictures or videos from down there for the next few days.
Until the families down there feel comfortable for us to do so. It just didn't seem appropriate today. We got photos of some of the children that have lost their fathers. If you feel that you would like us to forward any of the information to you, it's been in the paper. We can forward the translated article. We've got photos of the 2 men that have passed. It was 4 men that passed this morning, but 2 of them were fathers from Nadezhda.
So I'll just reply. So a drunk driver who was speeding early hours this morning hit into the horse and cart that was carrying 2 men from Nadezhda, fathers of some of the sponsored children. that live at the dump, and 2 other men from a different community. They were all family, but they were bringing them to Nadezhda to celebrate Gypsy Day. But they were hit by a speeding 90 miles an hour, I think 120 kilometers an hour.
Between 120 and 150 kilometers per hour, the driver was going.
So he ploughed into the horse and cart. The horse died. 3 of the men died immediately, and 1 of them died on the way to hospital. So we heard about it and we went straight down to the dump, and we were looking for their wives, and we found their wives, and we let them know that we want to support them and praying with them, and finding out who we wanted to know first. And we really wanted to know was if it was the sponsored children's fathers, because this is going to put a lot of pressure
friends,
on the family.
It is not a coincidence that we are here right now. We have never done a mission trip back to back like this, and provision came for us to be here
8 to 10 weeks ago.
It wasn't even that long ago. It was last month. We were here very recently, and we've never done a mission trip so close together, and God made a way for us to be here this week while this has happened. Friends, we can take some of the pressure off of these families. Really heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. I have never felt oppression like it. These families already go through so much. We've been trying to make life easier for these children. It's only been since November last year that God opened a door for us to be going down to the dump, and getting to know the families, and reaching out, trying to get sponsorship for all of these children. And now this happens, and it definitely is not a coincidence that we're here at this time. We're in a position, obviously, that we can reach, you guys to be praying for these families, to be praying. Please be covering us in prayer. Me and Natasha are both here with a small child each, and we have been dealing with some pretty heavy stuff this trip. I know in our videos we're always so happy and cheerful, but the dark side here is that life is horrific for pretty much everybody that lives in Nadezhda, and it just got a lot worse.
We come away sometimes a little bit, not traumatized.
Yeah, we do.
But sometimes we come back and we're just like, we just need a minute to process what we've seen, to process how they live. And we come back, we have had a sponsor rent us an apartment for a year, and that's why we were able to come back so quickly, because we've had this apartment, and we come back and we have water. They have no water in Nadezhda.
There's no one in Nadezhda's got water. The electric was off.
The electric was off today as well. And it's hard to process when you come back and you have hot water and electricity, and you've been somewhere that doesn't even have the basic.
Can't even wash their children.
So generally we come away and we take a minute, and when we have brought guests, and when we have brought other people that want to come on short mission trips, we have said to them, you will probably cry for the first few days. So this has just taken it to the next level, I think, really. So we just wanted to share what's happening. We'll probably do a video about it, just with the facts, maybe with some clippings from the newspaper article, because that has more of the facts on it. And if there's any way you would like to support these families as well, just let us know. Get in touch. hopeinbulgaria@gmail.com email address, and we can receive donations for the families through PayPal or Cash App, and just mark your donations, Aisha and Violetta.
Aisha and Violetta. That's the wives.
And we will try to keep you updated what's happening with the families. And we haven't been able to make another video of what's happened the last couple of days, because we have been dealing with this. So we'll try and get just the general videos out as well, but we will do one video specifically just with all the facts and and information
Yep.
about these families. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we will be updating you really soon. Thank you. Who is that? Laura. Oh, hey Laura. Yeah, man, it's been a really heavy day, but thank you everyone. And please be praying and yeah, reach out if you don't know how to donate, and we will be with you really soon. God bless you. And I don't know how to end there.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.